Hello everyone, N7 here, and this is a review of the patch 0.1.3, which was released August 24th, so yesterday. I'm recording this on the 25th of August. So let's get into it. You shall pass, not being crossed out, adjust Behemoth's parts breaks, item drops, gatherable, and receipt requirements to remove quest progression blockers. I usually am a slow player, and so I haven't really had any issues with progressing because I usually gather the materials for all the styles and then move forward. So having lack of item drops and gatherables was a big issue for me, but I'm glad that they're addressing that for some people who were apparently like, I think they like to keep pushing forward, not really staying around and all that. So that's really cool. Simmer down for real this time. We fixed the quest simmer down so players can regress past it. I have not reached personally, as of this recording, reached the quest simmer down, so I can't really say whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, but apparently there were some bugs, and so they fixed that, which is cool. So when I get to it, I won't have any issues, hopefully. Rage quit. Adjust damage bonuses for berserk potions. I've tried the berserk potions and I didn't really see a big difference personally from using it, so I switched out the berserk potions for stamina potions, but apparently it just the damage bonus. I'm not quite sure whether increased it or decreased it. It doesn't say, but just adjusted the damage, so that's interesting. Must be this new diet. Made optimization in-game collisions, so behemoths and players get stuck less. As the video you can see behind me, the behemoth Charog is doing a little dance in the trees, and so they were removing that so it doesn't glitch out as much. And players getting stuck, though, I personally have not had that issue, but I've seen a few streamers getting that, so glad that they're addressing that. Are those teeth? Updated the artwork on the Nasher chain blade weapon. Moving forward, you can expect new art for weapons and armor to come in a regular basis. This is the most important thing that I was looking forward to, is the chain blades are finally getting the skins from the behemoths. And so the video, as you can see, is that on the left side, this the chain blades before the patch, and then on the right side is the chain blades after the patch, and they look really cool. So I can't wait to see what the Shrike and all the other styles look for the chain blades, because the sword, the hammer, and the axe were getting their own love, and I was like, I feel because I'm a chain blade main, I was like, why don't we get it? But I'm glad that they're finally getting to this, so it's really cool. Boost just kick in and yo. Fix a display issue with Patron and champion boosters. Patreon boosters now correctly displays over champion boosters in the core breaker interface. Not quite sure how that works, because I typically what you see is that the champion boosters is your name, and then everyone else is a Patreon, so not quite sure how that works, because if you're an alpha, you get both of them. So I guess, sure, go for it. Go fast. Temporary capped frame rate at 60 FPS while we investigate underlying performance issues. Okay, so apparently some people were going higher FPS than 60, but I've been averaging more like 50 FPS, I think, on my streams and recordings, so sure. And again, this is an alpha stage, and so there's going to be a lot of little bugs they have to fix, but if people are able to get more than 60 FPS, that's really cool. A light in the dark. Adjust lantern names and recipes and fix an issue that caused incorrect lanterns to be equipped. I use lanterns, and I've been crafting new ones every time I get them unlocked, but I never really ran into that issue of incorrect lanterns being equipped, so I'm not quite sure how that was affecting people, but glad that they fixed that. It burns. Players no longer stand up when knocked out due to blaze damage over time effects. Video behind me, as you can see, that player is standing even though they're knocked out, so that is they're going to fix that. So if you are burning and you get knocked out, you're not standing, which is really cool. Hide and seek adjusts behemoths starting locations on snow and desert environments so they don't appear on Slayer drop zones. See, this one I didn't really have a problem or issue with because the snow and desert environments, to reach those points, you would have to fight a few behemoths, and by then you should be able to understand the nuances of the game. And so I think it was a cool idea to have them start, because then you're, oh great, I had to sneak past them, and so you had to learn how to watch their line of sight. So I thought it was a really cool feature, but apparently they were moving that. So okay, neither here nor there. Street cred fixed issues where the founders forum icons won't show up properly. That's on the forums. I haven't touched the forums yet, so cool. Power of Iron adjusted raw elemental damage, so it longer uses the target's highest elemental resistance. Raw elements attacks should now feel more powerful. I sadly have not reached any elemental weapons abilities yet, so I can't really say for either, but that is really cool. I'm looking forward to that when I get my first elemental weapon. Note to self, fix an issue that caused a player's name to appear as self. Never had that issue, never seen a streamer have that issue, but cool. At ease, Slayer, smooth out the salute emote animation. I don't use most of the emotes. I probably should, but that is cool that they've smoothed that out a little bit more. I'll have to check that out. Who invited that guy? Added details to tutorial pop-ups to inform players how to form a party and add friends. Personally, when I was going through the tutorial, I didn't have an issue. I'm more of a solo player myself, but I'm glad that they are addressing people who like to team up, and so that's really cool that they've increased did a tutorial for that. That's nice. Running on empty fixed an issue that prevented hunters from ending when the timer expired. Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe this is when the what do you call it? The airship runs out of fuel. I think that 30-minute mark, the timer expires. So I haven't reached a point where I got even close to 10 minutes remaining. So I've never had that issue, but interesting. Why isn't this purple? Epic cores are now guaranteed to drop Epic Arcanite, which is really cool. So basically increase the better the RNG, and so actually give it flat to drop for the Arcanite, which is nice because those are rare. Is like butter, more stability and performance fixes to reduce crashes and improve FPS. If you're still using poor performance using auto option in the graphics settings, you still have any problems, try lowering your graphics settings. Again, alpha stage right now, but I'm glad they are working on performance issues and FPS. 360 no scope ablaze it. Update their requirements on the Where's the Blaze quest. I have not gotten that, but apparently there are more requirements. Like I think kills X amount of behemoths, gather this amount of resources. So I think just speculating, I think there were maybe 3 requirements for the Blaze It quest, and now they've added 4 or 5, maybe. Again, those numbers I have not seen the quest, but maybe something like that sounds like. What is a name? What's in a name? Adjusted naming conventions for ingredients, armors, and weapons. Okay, that is very nice. Just streamlining your inventory a little bit. Was that doing here? Corrective reference to Rogue Drask and Rogue Charug quest. Okay, so apparently there was some mismatching. Very cool. Dynamic duo turning Ragetail Gnasher and Moon Reaver Shrike encounters based on player feedback. Encounters earned. Tuned. No, sorry, not turned, tuned. Okay, interesting. So Ragetail Gnasher and Moon Reaver Shrike are together, and so apparently there's some things that they've fixed. And then the Founders Alpha's known issues. In-game chat, and then there's contact them for help. The quest Mighty Will Fall doesn't indicate that players need to slay 2 of each behemoth. We're fixing this in a future patch. Cool. All right, that'll be nice to know. Optimize performance. Demon codes. Okay, apparently some people have been pausing the intro video, and then that impacts their game. I just usually skip it, just normally, so didn't run into that issue. Don't log into Dauntless from multiple places. That's sort of like a given. Don't know why people would do that. Sometimes minutes to properly start. That's just normal. Welcome to Alpha. Experience support and to hunt. Okay, interesting. I never had that issue, but glad that they're addressing that. Behemoths may occasionally walk in irregular patterns. Saw that on occasion. Glad that they're addressing that. Mini icons. Okay, they're working on controller support more. I did try controller a little bit, and it was quite fun, but there were some times where you had to use the keyboard to actually fully use it, utilize the menus and all that. So glad they're doing controller support. So that is the patch 0.1.3. A lot of new, well, basically a lot of patches to the current behemoths. Chain blades are finally getting looks from their fellow behemoth drops, which I'm very happy about, and just more performance, increasing FPS and all that fun stuff. So hopefully that was helpful for you, and have a good day.